All right. According to this, I am live. So welcome. Live from the crossroads of America. A 1 hour show. Talking about shooting with disabilities or anything else that crosses our mind. Answer questions from the audience. And it's a cluster this morning or this afternoon or tonight, whatever you want to call it, wherever you happen to be in the country. Just as I was about ready to click go live, gun tube chambers went down, and I couldn't get it to reload. It went offline. For a minute I thought it was my lousy internet, but my internet's working. So I do apologize to everybody for the quick shift over. You should have got a second email with the link to StreamYard. So I just wanted to let everybody know that that's what's happened. Hey, Patriot in the Dark's in the room. And Seven Wonders here. Are you joining us, Patriot? So Midnight Range is here. Total screw up tonight, guys. Gun chambers shut down just before I went live. So I had to do a quick shift over to StreamYard. So there we go. Anyway, well, being shooting with disabilities. Oh, Blind Shooter says blame Patriot. Yeah. I'm glad you joined us over here on StreamYard, Blind Shooter. Gun tube just died on me just before I hit the go-to button. So anyway, I was the last couple of days here in good old southern Indiana. We had rain in the forecast the other day, so all my joints started aching. And then we got a cold front coming through, so which doesn't help. So I have been in agony for the last 3 days. I just wanted you all to know that. Patriot in the Dark's joined us. How you doing?
Can you see me?
We can see the little round circle. We don't have no
video.
No avatar.
All right. Well, you know.
That's all right. I know who you are. It says PIDT in the bottom, so I know who you are. So,
boy, that Mike guy.
I don't know if you heard me. That for the last 3 days, my arthritis in my joints have been absolutely agony. You know, it's because we've got been raining and a cold spell coming through. So it's the first one of the season. You know what I'm saying? So it sort of caught me off guard. You know, but I can still move, but I move real slow and I'm in pain constantly. My hands are hurting right now, you know. Big time. Anyway, who else we got in the room? Midnight Range, Blind Shooter, Plumpy E, Two Gun Kitty, Southpaw RX, Snob's Wife 76. How y'all doing? With my panel, I got Patriot in the Dark. How you doing?
I am doing great now that I got in.
Yes,
sneak in the back.
And he's on a phone call. So we're getting him to say hi once he gets off the phone because we got the Kingpin.
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. As soon as you went live, I got a phone call.
Well, yeah, as soon as I went live, gun chambers died on me.
Yeah, I couldn't get in. It said that the site could not be found.
Yeah, it completely died right as I was about ready to thing. I don't know what's going on, but I thought I just jumped over to StreamYard. Make the best of it, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, my gun channels thing's all wrong and everything else, but that's life. You know, doing it on the fly.
Well, we found it.
Yes, Sabrina's here, so that's good. And really, the only people that really had because I deleted the gun, the YouTube setup gun tube stream for it wouldn't confuse people, and just have this one going. So, so that works. Anyway, how you guys doing? How's life treating you, Patriot?
It's been a very long week.
Yeah.
It's going good. My daughter's birthday is in a few days, the day before Halloween, All Hallows Eve or All Souls Day. So she's a handful and planning the big party and hoorah and all that fun stuff. And it's also tomorrow is her last day, and then she's on intercession for a week. So she has her birthday week off. So it's going to get even more exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good.
You done any shooting lately?
No, I've been working on a single video for a week and a half. I've recorded it over and over and don't like it. And I do it all on the fly because obviously I don't. I try to plan it out, but I shoot from the hip, and it's one I have to get out, and so it's gonna it's more of a serious thing. I try to be positive all the time, but there's some things that need to get out there. Last night, if anyone watched Sandhill shooters bullying and suicide show, I watched it. I didn't join in, but that was pretty much the whole the whole video I was doing. But it was nice to kind of see other people talking about that kind of stuff too. So
yeah,
but it's just this time of year is kind of
yeah. I've had
different
some things going on the last couple of weeks myself. I haven't been able to get out shooting. I mean, I said I've tried the 380 out when I first got it, and I really haven't been out to use it. I went out once and just fired a couple of magazines because I was just driving by, and I thought, let's do it, But I need to get out. I need to get out and see how my hands are going to handle it in this cold, in this weather with my, my arthritic fingers and stuff. So.
Well, at least you saved your brass if you were driving by shooting. It just bounced in the cab there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the what was I going to say? That's what I've been doing on that end. Blind Shooter won't be joining us tonight because he's had to work. Oh. So he said he's overrun with work. That's his excuse, anyway.
Did you get your setup as far as your targets, your steel targets? Did you figure that all out? Yeah,
we've had some heavy rain here the last couple of days, so I'm hoping that softened up the ground enough because I use shepherd's hooks that have they're 5 foot tall, heavy duty shepherd's hooks, and they have 3 steel prongs on the bottom. To put in the ground.
Okay.
And because it's been so dry here all summer, the ground's like concrete. Mm-hmm. Even trying to I bent one. I had to hammer it back out. I bent one trying to hammer it into the ground. The point went in, unless it was hitting a rock and it just bent as it was moving past it. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say you were in the grass. You weren't on the.
I was in the grass. And also what I like about these ones, they're sturdy. When I hang, I use a 6-inch plate on there. And it, the shepherd's hook stands up straight. It doesn't lean over, with the weight of anything. That's what I like about them. And I could hit them. I was shooting from 10 yards away. I could hit them. I'm going to try to back up a little bit further next time. See how good I'm doing at long distance. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually seen on that gundeals.com, they had, I believe it was 3 plates. They had a sale. I don't know. It's one of those ones where you go and it sends you to whoever's got them on sale. And there was, I want to say, an 8, a 6, and a 4 or something.
Yeah.
And it was like $60, something like that. It was pretty cheap, I guess. I don't know. I've never priced them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, my little setup, I think my I can try to think. I think my 2 shepherd's hooks come to $19. You know, they weren't that expensive. I think I got them from Amazon actually, but they were actually, listed as ones for shooting. Whether that's true or not, but they seem to be sturdy and they're not flimsy looking. Because normally when you see shepherd's hooks, you see those ones that people hang their flower pots on and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
These seem to be really sturdy, thick still, and of course I've got my targets are, is it that 500, whatever it's called? It can take up to a, was it 44 Magnum at pistol
Nice.
thing, and I think it can take rifle, but at 100 yards you could use it for. But since I don't have a rifle per se, I've only got my little 1522, my S&P, my M&P. I mean, so
Yeah.
okay.
I actually looked at buying that Bushmaster auto BB gun that Classic Firearms had, just so that I could shoot in my backyard, so I wouldn't have to leave. But I still think my neighbors would have an issue with that CO2 BB gun.
Yeah. Yeah, but you might be dangerous with that in your backyard.
Oh yeah,
More
I
like
would use it in my basement probably.
Yeah.
So my daughter, she's got a Crossman air rifle, with the BB pellet, and the first Christmas that she had it, we set up a range in the basement. It just basically had a professional tablecloth, so it's kind of a thick canvas almost.
Yeah.
The ones that you would go to, one of those snooty restaurants, and they have to wash them. It's like the napkins that you can't ever use because they're fancy. As the backdrop.
I know what you're talking about.
So we just suspended some balloons for her and some tin cans and stuff like that. So she dug it. That's just the length of the the basement or whatever. But she had a
That works.
little picnic table, one of the kid fold up picnic tables.
Yeah. Hey, maybe you could set up a little shooting range there for 22.
No, it's I've thought about it. There was enough property around that for a while there. I was trying to find out if I could buy one of those, what do you call them? The semi-truck trailers.
Yeah.
Just to bury them and have an underground range. Just because to the sides I have houses,
Yeah.
They couldn't see me. That would be all right. But
yeah.
I did send an email to Mr. Kingpin. I was just wondering if he's seen that about Maryland.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't get a chance to respond because I was working.
Okay, no problem. I just wanted to make sure I got it. My emails have been messing up. I think Clover's got me on his do not receive list too.
Oh, you got banned from Clover as well? Yeah, I got another one today.
Yeah, I got one sent back. He's got something going on with that. I'm going to forward him
because I got another one today. But Saturday I sent him one and he joined the chat.
Yeah.
Today he got back again.
Yeah, it's got to be something. There's some codes at the where it says it's not deliverable or something that send some information. So I'll make sure I send him one. So
yeah. Anyway, so you got any topics there, Patriot? Anything happening in your disability world there? Of
there's Not so much. I mean, I've got some kind of random things, but I know that we mentioned, trying to find some of the shooting groups. If you wanted to, as far as rifle or pistol or whatever. I won't bring it up. It was something that Blind Shooter was checking into, but I did see. Anyways, I sent him some information, and he had somebody that was looking into archery for a younger kid that was visually impaired. So
Okay.
so that's kind of cool, because there are those things, and most of the states too. Sorry,
Yeah.
phone's talking in the ear. Sorry, that they have their open seasons that are a little early, where you can use a spotter, the laser and that. I know we've talked about it, but a friend of mine did get her. I don't know if it's a tag or what they call it for bear. So she's actually going out. She's totally blind with her husband, and obviously he'll be spotting for her and stuff. But they were pretty excited about that.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see how that's done. I really would.
Yeah. There's. Okay.
Yeah, go on.
I'm sorry. I just have some issues when I'm on the phone and people are texting me because it talks in my ear. So
No.
distracting. But at least it's not a bill, right?
Yeah.
No.
Blind Shooter says he got the information and passed it along. Much appreciated.
Yeah, it's just if you look out there, there are a lot of things. There was actually one of the guys that we talked to in a blind listserv that it's just emails. There was one of the guys that was talking about somebody that he got to get his instructor for his CPL, his concealed carry, and some of the things that he went through, and that he actually passed the test and had no issues. And the instructor had put out a video mentioning it, and going through the comments this morning, it's kind of it wakes you up, because I mean I talk to everybody, and it's not a big deal, and I'm here, and people know obviously that I shoot and all that kind of stuff. But then you go across some comments like that, and then you come across people that are just like, oh, how can you do that? How, all that negativity stuff. And it's just like, I'm glad I'm not there. And I got a lot of people that I can talk to that aren't backwards. I mean, I know there's a lot of people still that, might be leery of hanging out with me if, shooting or whatever, but,
well,
they'll learn someday.
I mean, as I've already mentioned before, I got my new back brace.
Nice.
It's it's one that got a big. I know you can't see it, but I'm holding my hands up here. It's about a 12-inch. I would say it's 12 inches high, about 10 inches wide. Basically, a piece of what's the word for it? Like plastic, for lack of a better word. I can't think of the word right now, what it's made out of, but it's plastic based. That is where the rigidity comes from. And it's on, and it's it's Velcroed, and it's heavy duty Velcro. I mean, you got to really tug on it to get it to pull it apart, which is good, because I'm a big old boy. Then it's got little elastic ones on the side where you can pull tighter and Velcro them on too. So it holds me really firm. Where I'm going with this is I've been wearing it for about a month or so now, a month and a half, and I'm able to walk better than I have been able to. I mean, I've still got to use a scooter going around places like Walmart and all that because of the distance, from the front of the store to the back and stuff. But where I was going with that, when I go down to my little range, I can walk now. I don't have to load my scooter up and all that kind of stuff. I can walk out there and do it. But what I bought it out of Sportsman's Guide. I bought myself a chair, and I got an extra wide one because I'm a big boy and I want comfort. got a table on the side of it. If I can hold my drink and all my ammo and stuff. But what I got it for, and it has a weight capacity of 600 pounds. Now I'm nowhere near that. I know I'm big, but I'm nowhere near that. But the reason I went for the real big one was like when I go to stand up, the amount of, I don't know, force per pound pressure on the arms of the chair as I get myself up. That's why I went for the heavy duty one. Because I can stand and shoot, but after a while, I have to sit down, because of my back. I can sit down for maybe 10 or 15 minutes and I can stand back up again,
Now, how is that working? Is that, I know when you first got that brace, you said that your other leg was sore or something like that. Is that worked out? Was it just kind of like getting used to having that rigidity?
No. I got actually tomorrow, I got to go get an x-ray done on my right hip because they think it's got worse, because I don't know. It's got worse. I've noticed it too. Like when if I'm sitting there watching TV and I'm sitting back in my recliner, got it fully stretched out and my feet are straight down, my left leg with the new hip, my foot is my foot is straight up. I can look straight down my leg and my toes are pointing straight upwards. My right foot, I can't hold my foot upright, for it's pointing straight to the ceiling. It's going out. It's going out towards the right. So when I'm walking, my right foot is almost, I'm sort of like a waddle type thing.
Yeah.
With my foot. So my hip is getting worse, and that's not helping me any. So more than likely, I'm going to have a hip replacement on the right side now. Then I'll be back to using my scooter for a few months, until it heals up. So, well, that's the breaks of getting old, You got that to come because you're still a young man, ain't you, Patriot? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've been drugged down the road a few times myself, but I'll never complain about it. Well, I do, but my daughter's the only one that hears it. So. Oh, Dad, you're not that old.
Unknown user just put in the chat. News was just released that. Hang on, let me see. Will it show it? Yeah, news was just released that military service members' suicides are at a 5-year high. If anyone knows a service member or veteran in crisis, please point them to, 22kill.com. That must be a suicide website. So,
yeah, with that too, they've kind of changed into, they've got the peer support and counseling and a lot of great stuff there. If it's something that's urgent though, as far as something that's happening right now and you're trying to help, it is better to call the 911 or the suicide hotlines, those numbers that were put out last night, and it's good to ask also if there's a veteran on call. There are the support there with 22 Kill and that. That's one of the things I like to do.
Oh yeah, but you're right. A veteran can talk to another veteran.
Yeah, that's kind of without going too much into the that video that I was talking about. The basic gist of it is I've had obviously a situation where somebody I knew where I didn't talk to them, and because I had my daily things going on kind of thing where I'll get back to you, I'll be right there, and the next time I was right back there, it was at the funeral kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the idea behind, I can tell you guys because you guys are cool. But with I was at a family function and had my daughter. You know, she was very small. And I ran out to the vehicle to pick up some whatever for her. You know, it could have been a change of clothes or whatever. And I had vision at the time, slight vision. I was going blind because obviously my daughter, you know, that's when I started losing my vision, when she was born. But basically I got a call, hey, come over here. You know, I haven't seen you in a while. And I was like, hey, you know, I will, but I got to do this first, kind of thing. I'll be right back. And come on, spend a couple minutes. And needless to say, I didn't get back there, and it's been on my head ever since, because the next time I was in that area was like 3 weeks later at the funeral. So, but the idea behind the video I've been working on is, you know, everybody's kind of got, you know, hears that story. And as soon as you hear a story like that, doesn't matter who you are, there's somebody that pops into your head.
Oh,
It doesn't matter if they're a kid or somebody that you know that, you know, they might be having issues, whatever, but, you know, usually your head can kind of pop in somebody that you should talk to, you know, somebody you haven't talked to. Maybe it's somebody you can't talk to anymore, like you know, with my situation, you know. But then there is always somebody. It doesn't have to be a veteran, it can be anybody. And that you know, few minutes of talking, you know, you won't look back and go, gee, I wonder, you know, what would have happened if I did. And that you know, that's something that, you know, I try to stay positive, and I push that front all the time, but that has worn on me for years. But so I've had, you know, 3 of those, you know, not the same situation, but definitely reach out and talk to somebody, because I mean, just talking, you know, and you don't have to have answers, you know.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I've had relating that back to my drinking issues. You know, I've had friends or people that I've known in the 12-step program. You know,
yeah,
for some unknown reason, you know, they went out and, you know, took their own life. They thought that was the answer. So I know what you mean. You know, because they're asked to talk to you. Yeah, I'll call you back. You know, or I'll meet you at so and so meeting. You know, and I don't show up, not on purpose, but something else happens that I got to take care of, and I don't make it. You know, the next thing you know, that you next thing you said, next thing you know, you're at a funeral. You know,
yeah.
so but I've learned not. If somebody asks to speak to me today, I try to make the time, even if it's only a phone call. You know, to connect with them. But I've learned that I don't beat myself up over it anymore. You know.
Well, that's kind of the thing. You know, I've always been really rigid on you know, keeping schedules and doing, you know, I'm never late. You know, it's just one of them OCD things or whatever. I don't know, but you know, I've definitely opened it up where, you know, 2 minutes is not going to stop whatever I'm doing. You know, I can take that time to talk to somebody. I can you know, it's whatever. I just want to put that out there. You know, when you hear that story, you know, that person that does flip into your head and you're thinking about, you know, it doesn't take nothing to call. Don't do the stupid Facebook message or a like on a post or some, you know, kid thing like that. That is not connecting. You know, just talk to them. You know, and if you're in one of those spots, you know, my email, I'm always around. You can find me. So you know.
Absolutely. I agree with you. You know.
But that's what I've been dealing with for a week, because this is the time of year. So.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, we've always said this. I mean, when it comes to people, I mean, on my situation, people in recovery, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or whatever, I mean, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year are the 3 biggies where most of this tragedy happens. You know, so I don't know why it does. Maybe because people start thinking about how life used to be. You know, I mean, I know one friend of mine, he lost his family, his kids, and all this, and Christmas he was all alone and all this kind of stuff, and it was eating at him, you know. And I mean, I talked to him. I mean, I'll invite people. What I used to do was, luckily, I have to check here because I've been really bad here. I haven't really got involved too much in the 12-step programs here in my area since I moved here last year, but I need to. But where I was at before, we used to have like Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year. Groups would get together and they hold what they call an alcathon, a 24-hour place where there was meetings for 24. There was always people available 24 hours a day for people who were alone and stuff to come and talk and stuff like that. It worked out really good, So I'm just mentioning that's the side on that side that I used to do. I try to help anybody I can. I don't have. All I can do is talk. I don't have, I can talk to people. That's about all I can do. I don't have material wise, there ain't much I can do.
Yeah, that's usually that's not even a big part of it.
No, it's
I like to bring,
talk,
Yeah, I like to talk because, I just go up and they're like, oh man, I thought I had it bad. Look at this loser. He can't see, look at his clothes. He's got a green sock and a black sock, maybe a white sock and a black sock. I don't have green socks, but so
yeah.
But I always try to come at it with humor too. So, that's just,
yeah.
So,
yeah.
But otherwise you can go to the range and, yeah.
The range is a good place to go to. Well, I like going to the range. When I used to play golf, sometimes I would love going out just by myself on a quiet summer's evening, or play early in the morning, or just before the golf course closed. When you're out there by yourself, I used to get solace out of it,
Yeah.
But now I get, since I can't do that anymore, I get that at the range now. When I go to the range, and even if I go down there and just shoot one box of 50 round, 50 whatever, I'm most of the time back lately it's been 45 ACP. Even if I just shoot one box of 50 rounds, it would make me feel better. You know what I'm saying? It would get me back to nature type thing. I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for, but no. There we go. We had something here where I think it was Seven Wonders was talking earlier. It was that he can't get in his truck anymore last few days because his muscles and back and stuff is killing him. Yeah, I've been there, done that. Like I said, the last 3 days with my arthritis and stuff, and my joints hurting like a son of a bitch, is getting in and out of my truck. It's always a chore anyway. But I lift my leg up because I got those running boards, whatever you call it, underneath my door. I have to put one foot on there. Then I grab hold. For some reason, my old 1997 Ford doesn't have a grab handle on the driver's side. Has one on the passenger side, but it doesn't have one on the driver's side. So I have to grab hold of the steering wheel, and sort of boost myself up and pull myself in with that. So I get both feet onto the running board. Then I sit down in the seat, and I told you before, I don't know if I mentioned it before, I got this round little spinner thing I sit my fat ass on, and it moves and it turns. So I just bring my legs in and spin around and turn till I'm square with the seat.
A little turntable. Nice.
Yeah, then I use it for getting out. Getting out of my truck's a lot easier because I just swing my legs around and I just slide off the seat onto the ground, So, that's the only thing that's worrying me right now. Because I moved here to be near family. And you know how that goes. first few. I mean, my cousin has moved out because she got mad at the new landlord for jacking the rent up.
Mm.
I mean, we had it cheap. I mean, we really did. I mean, what we're paying now is what the going average is for this area. You know, which is fine. I mean, I can still afford it, but she got mad at the way he done it, and so she moved out. But luckily, her mother had passed away, my aunt, a few months ago, and of course, I left her house, so she had somewhere to move into. You know what I'm saying? So, so she's moved out. Where I'm going with this is, I'm the only. It's the only thing I'm worried about getting the new hip. And I don't know why I'm worrying about it. It's the same thing that happened to me in Rhode Island, right? But I had a cleaning lady that would come in and help me, right? But I don't have that here. Is if I get a new hip, I won't be able to drive for 4 weeks minimum. That's how long it took for my left hip before the doctor would okay me to drive. You know, and it's not so, you know, it's so I had to get a relative to come over and do my shopping for me and all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm getting way ahead of myself here. I ain't even seen the surgeon yet. And I'm only thinking about recovery. You know what I'm saying?
What about that diner you go to? Isn't there one that you go for your
breakfast? Yeah, I was there this morning.
What you need to do is ask some of the waitresses if they're looking for a place, set her up with that place next to you, then she can just, you know, you can place an order with her and maybe she'll be nice and bring you food back from the diner. And
I
don't know.
Yeah. So,
maybe that's just me.
Yeah, maybe. You know, it would be nice. I said I was in there. It's been closed for a week. They went on vacation. I don't know where they went, but wherever it went, it must have had a casino because she went. She said she lost money. But she said she had a good time, so that's good. So, but I was in there today. I had to go down to the Family Dollar to buy some cat treats because I'd run out. And you don't want to run out of treats with these boys because they start taking it out on me. You know. And anyway, so I stopped there on the way back, but it's 10:30 in the morning, right? Breakfast is over. 10:30 in the morning. Lunch, you know, because these are all farm guys around here. So, you know, I mean,
10:30. Shoot, that is lunchtime.
She opens at 5 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So by 10:30, it's lunchtime. You know, so at 10:30 this morning, I was eating a hamburger and French fries, so and a big Dr. Pepper. So and now. I'm talking about a large Dr. Pepper hamburger, you know, fully loaded, and a humongous plate of French fries. You know, $6.51 with tax.
Right. Hey, so you want to give some stickers away?
Oh, well, you got a question?
Yeah. What was the? Are you got to watch the chat because I'm sure you'll remember the answer. What was the cut of the week last Sunday or Saturday on Rick's Life as I See It?
No shit. I got to try to remember myself.
Uh-oh.
When I see it, I'll know what it is. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was talking about that. I came across a YouTube channel called The Bearded Butchers. They're a couple of, I mean, they do all. Unknown user said he didn't hear the question. He cut out. He won the cut of the week I had for last Saturday. Unknown user said flat steak. No.
Honda and Seven Wonders put in. I don't know the answer.
Oh,
So
fried Chipman ribeye. No, that wasn't it. I'm trying to think. Damn it, I did forget. Send me an email real quick, or type it in the chat or something there, in a private chat or something. Patriot. I can't remember. My brain's gone dead. No, I know it wasn't.
No, the flat was the week before. That skirt steak or whatever was the week before.
Oh, I remember what it was.
Okay.
I remember what it was. You're close, unknown user, but not quite. Unknown user said rump. He's close, but not right.
are you sure he was talking about the cut of the week?
Yeah, I remember what it was now. Should I give him a clue? It was a roast. So, while you guys are thinking about that, people did answer. People have been answering my question for my quiz. For Saturday, but I'm going to give it to you all again. No, unknown user. It wasn't a rump roast. Raphael, no, it wasn't cow meat. Oh,
I've got to take this call real quick, but whoever wins, just have them email me at patriotinthedark@gmail.com.
Okay.
All right, I'll try to get back.
All right. Nope, nobody's got it yet. So, okay. While you're all trying to figure out that one, no, it wasn't a pork roast. My question for next week, for this coming Saturday's quiz, and the prize was some wire brushes, 2 patches, and a whole bunch of stickers and stuff. No. Travis T's close, but no cigar. Okay, my question here was, it's a mail-in one. Get it to me by noon Eastern time this Saturday at Rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. My question was, Queen Elizabeth was born on April 21st, 1926. I want to know what her full name at birth was. And also, I want to know her husband, what his name was before they got married. And also, who did she take over from to be the monarch, the leader of Great Britain? That was the question. So what was her full name at birth? What was her husband's name before they got married? And who did she succeed? Is that the word I'm looking for? When you take over from somebody? So email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com. Nobody's got his answer question yet. Oh, man, you guys are pretty bad. I can tell that you were really listening to my show last week. You remember oh, no, you didn't make it last Saturday, did you, Kingpin?
No.
No, none of you are anywhere. Should I give them the answer?
Either that or come up with a different question. Patriot likes to give all the hard questions.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give them the answer to today's question. And hopefully he makes it back before the end of the show, and we can come up with another one. What it was a bottom round roast rump end. And I said it was the end it's got a slight angle cut off to it because that's where the rump was cut off. It's a solid piece of meat. I mean, the most it's ever going to weigh is maybe 4 pounds, if that. If you get one any bigger, they're lying to you. And what you do is you cook it real slow at around 250, 275. Most people use it as a pot roast, but I'm telling you, if you cook it, leave it on the side of your counter for a couple of hours till it gets to room temperature. Put it in your in your cooking pan or whatever. What really works well is find something, either put it on a cooking rack inside there. You don't need no liquid, you don't need no oil, nothing. Put it in there, either put it on a cooking rack. If you haven't got a cooking rack, get 2 pieces of celery and stick them there and put the meat on top of that. Put it fat side up, for the fat side is facing up and the meat's down. Put it in the oven, cook it at 250, 275, 20 minutes a pound, plus an extra 20 minutes. Pull that out of the oven, let it sit there for 10, 15 minutes. Then slice that thing. You'll be eating roast beef that you thought you got from Arby's. I'm telling you. Guarantee if you cook it right. You know? Patriot, nobody got it. I had to give him the answer. Oh, he's showing up, but he ain't talking yet. So, but anyway, so that was the answer. It was the bottom round roast rump end. So, I don't know what Patriot's doing, but he's got funny things coming on his screen here. So, there we go. Let's see if he joins us again here. I don't know what's going on. So New York Outcast wants to know when the cookout is. Oh yeah, actually, I have done that before. You know, not here, of course, but no, I've done it. I've done it other places. You know, where I've done the cooking for people. You know, especially like on a cookout on a grill. You know, I'm a pretty good cook when it comes to that. I'm a better butcher than I am a cook, but I'm a pretty good cook. So, just wanted to say. But anyway, so actually, that's another thing I got to look out now. I got to come up with a question for the quiz. Now I got to come up for a cut of the week as well. You guys are making my job hard. You really are. You know? So how about giving me some help? Send in some questions that I could use, you know? Oh, Vast Matrix says, I'm a meat wrapper learning to butcher.
You've got mail.
Yeah, it's I mean, if you learn to, I mean, the way I looked at it, I mean, I went into meat cutting or butchery. My idea was to learn the trade, then go off and do something really exciting. But the way I looked at it, if I ever lost my job, I always had something to fall back onto. Because you're always going to need meat cutters. If maybe not at the supermarket level, but once the animal goes through the slaughterhouse, it has to be cut. Somebody has to cut it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Am I back?
Yes.
Hey, there you are.
I had to give him the answer. Nobody got it.
Oh, okay.
You know.
See, I was going to give him this whole
you give him
patch
two
panel.
tough questions. You know what I'm saying?
My camera's not on, is it?
No.
Oh, okay, because I'm showing my whole patch panel. You know that.
No,
so
you know
they could have won that whole thing, but oh well.
Yeah.
So, but I just wanted to jump back in. My daughter is en route, so I'm going to have to jump out. But I do appreciate it, Rick. and everyone.
I appreciate it. I'm going to shut this down here in a minute anyway. And if anybody's got here, I mean, I'm hurting here for questions or topics for this Shooting with Disabilities. Anybody out there in the chat has any questions they want to ask us, how we do things, or if there's something that you have and you want to talk about it, let me know. I can even invite you on the show if you want. Just let me know. You know? E Honda says you have AOL. Now, I don't know if you're listening to my mail. I had the soundtrack when Gmail delivers mail to me. It goes, "You've got mail." I only use that just to piss people off. You know? So there we go. I mean, hey, there was nothing wrong with AOL in his day. It taught me how to use computers. You know? So, I remember when you used to have to, what was it, 14K modem, and it would go as it was connected and all kinds of shit. You know?
Oh, yeah.
You know? But anyway, back to this guy who's learning to be a meat cutter. So that's what I'm saying. If you just drop out at any time, you can. You got any plugs or anything you want to do real quick, Patriot?
I just threw out my first video in a week, and it's just another one of those budget flashlights. They sent me another one, so I got another one to give away. Jeez, I'm getting all this stuff stacked up, so I'm gonna have to come up with some giveaways.
Yeah.
But check that out, and if you want, keep an eye out for my PSA. I don't know what you want to call it, but basically kind of an outreach thing. Video I should be coming out in the next day or so. But like I said, my daughter's birthday is coming up, and
okay,
she takes priority. So
absolutely.
Thanks everyone.
Might see you Saturday, might not.
Saturday is actually one of her parties, so unless you want like maybe I'll just go live.
Yeah, maybe.
I paid for one of those henna tattoo ladies to be there.
Okay.
So there's some little kids going to be there too, so they're going to do some of the glittery tattoos. So if anyone wants a fake tattoo, come on by.
Yeah.
So, all right, I do appreciate it. You guys have a good night, or make it an outstanding night.
Thanks for stopping by.
I'll post your address in the chat for everybody, Patriot.
Yeah, thanks. It's not actually. It's not at my house. It's at my ex's.
Oh, right. You probably didn't mind.
So I'll post it.
All right. No, anyway,
thanks a lot, guys.
I'm go real quick before I run out of time. Back to my meat cutting days. When I started meat cutting, we were still using hanging beef. You know, I mean, there's places over here that still use it, but very rare. Most meat cutting now, it's all primals out of boxes, wrapped up, packed in Cryovac bags. You know, but when I done it, it was still on the bone. And it used to be a nut-busting job back in those days. I was working for Uncle Sam on a military base in the commissary. And we used to cut. I worked a few times at RAF Lakenheath, which is the biggest base in the United Kingdom. It's shrunk some over the years, but when I was there, I mean, we used to cut a minimum of 25 minimum. This was on a slow day. Was 25 forequarters, 25 hindquarters a day.
No, is that for British consumption or for export?
No, that was just for military personnel only and their families.
Oh wow, that's
commissaries overseas. That's all we. I mean, there was thousands of military assigned to Lakenheath. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we used to do that every day, and on paydays twice a month. We're about cut double that in one. You know, it was a tough job back in those days. I mean, we used to, use electric saws. One of my jobs was I had to break the beef down. So, I think that's where I got my arthritis from. I know it's got nothing to do with shooting with disabilities, but we used to break the hindquarter. When we used to break the sirloin and short loin off the round. Right? I've used an electric saw, grab this electric saw, but you have a meat hook and you stuck the meat hook in the bottom piece of meat, sawed it where the bone was, and that piece of meat is weighing, anywhere from 60 to 80 pounds. And it's dropping dead weight straight down, and you have to hold it from stopping it from hitting the floor, then swing it up and put it on I call it a Christmas tree hook. It was a tree that hung down and maybe had 15, 16 hooks on it, and you would hang it on there. So that sudden jolting on my shoulders all the time. I think working in the refrigerator all those years, I think that's where the arthritis came from. So, there we go. I just wanted to say that. So, so I got all kinds of stories about meat cutting. I've talked about it before, but we're running out of time. I used to cut pigs down. I used to split pigs down the center with a cleaver. Split the pig right down the center of its backbone, where you had equal amount of bone on each side. You can tell you done it because it'd be red on the backbone on both sides of the animal. I used to be able to do it in a 3.5 whacks with a cleaver, and I'll be down to the head. Now we either took the head off whole or we split it in half. It depends on what we were doing with it. And we used to bone out pigs' heads. We used to use that for sausage meat. And I've told this story before, when we used to bone out the pigs' heads, taking the cheek meat off and stuff and pulling out the tongue. Now, like liver, hearts, tongues, spleens. I learned to cut meat in England, and they eat a lot of that shit. I never could. But so we used to cut the tongues out of the pigs and stuff like that. But where I was going, when we used to bone out pigs' heads, we used to cut out the pig's eyes. And all pig's eyes are blue, by the way. We used to cut out the pig's eyes, and we used to throw them against the wall and bet on which one will roll down the tiled wall first. Hi, Rick. What is a skirt steak? A skirt steak, either skirt steak or they call it flat meat. And it's a piece of meat that comes. It's a piece of meat that runs on the inside of the forequarter, and sort of like it's a piece there, and you cut it off. It's thick. It's not very thick. It's thin, and it's very it's grainy looking, but it's tender as hell. It really is. So, oh, stop it, Rick. I don't want to know what's in that casing. Oh, on the sausage? Yeah. yeah. I used to make sausage. We used to use natural casing too when we made sausage and stuff. I used to have an old when I used to make it. I used to have an old handle one where you turn the handle as the pork comes out and you're squeezing out the sausage into the casing and stuff. No, that wasn't the question, Sabrina. That wasn't the answer. The answer was a bottom round roast rump end. That's what it was. In England, it used to be that piece of meat. Over here in America, they call it bottom round. In England, it was called silverside. So, see, because I learned to cut English first, to cut before I learned how to cut American style. So I could do them both. So, all right, we're 8 o'clock. Any plugs or anything, Kingpin? I know you're a busy man. Been very quiet tonight. He must have stepped away. Oh, dear. Actually, I like hot dogs. But you know, yeah, we used to mind you, what we used to do back in the day is when they used to have when we used to have a lot of, when you're cutting hanging beef, you would get a lot of fat and bone wastage. So we used to use those big 55-gallon plastic trash barrels to throw our scraps in. Well, what we had done one time is we had measured the inside of the barrel, and we cut a piece of plywood the same circumference as the barrel was inside, and then we, you know, put 4 holes in it, 2 each side, and tied it off with rope. And what we would do is fill it up with ice and beer. Then we would put that piece of board inside the trash can, then throw scraps on top of it. So if any of the bosses came by or anybody else came by, they saw it. All they saw was it was a fat barrel, fat and bone scrap barrel. And when they weren't looking, we'd go in there, grab hold of the ropes, pull it up, take out a beer, put it back down. I'm not trying to give you guys any ideas, but that's what we used to do. So, all right, you back yet, Kingpin? No?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I know you're a busy man. Any plugs or shout outs?
No, not at all. Just make sure everybody comes back on Saturday at 3, and definitely email Rick some questions about shooting with disabilities and about, you know, whatever other kind of topics, and make it easier on him to run a show for you. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I'll be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I want to thank you all for stopping by. I don't know who's on next, if anybody is. Never Enough Ammo's on at 9, and I believe, roll call. Rants and Raves is on after that.
Yep.
So there's plenty on here tonight. So I want to say thank you all again for being here, and I will see you all later. Have a good evening, people.